your host for the truth from Central Michigan, actor, co-host Frank Carrera, and from Central Michigan, actor, from your host, Andrew Washington.
Hey, and thanks for watching The Truth with Andrew Washington and Frank Carrera. This week was pretty cool. But first, before I go any further, I want to give a shout out to Pete at NoFo Mosquito and Tick Control. You know, he's our sponsor for the next couple of weeks, and it's been fun having him. Hopefully, you guys give him a call at 631-888-NOFO. I'm sure you're going to need him very soon.
Yeah, use him. I mean, he did my yard, and it's got great results so far. So
yeah, I know you haven't invited me over yet, so I
haven't had a party yet. Between all the sickness in my house, I've been in the hospital. My son's got a double ear infection. It doesn't stop, bro. Here we go. I hate you so much, bro.
I want to give a shout out. I don't know if you saw this, but Ann Rothney shared the post I put up about the show tonight. And then she was like, watch The Truth with Andrew Washington and Frank Carrera. These guys make me happy.
That's awesome.
And that's kind of validation
you,
for what we do and why we do it. You know, at least somebody's happy. My shit is just nuts.
Hey, well, listen,
man.
you had a show.
I had a show. I came back from Florida. Then I had a show. We did Thursday. And now I leave tomorrow for Minnesota. I have nothing packed. The laundry didn't have my clothes ready, so I have to get those tomorrow. I have no idea how I'm getting to the airport. Yeah, I don't even have my flight back home yet. So yeah, man, you know, things are going great. I screwed up the photos for tonight's show, put them in the wrong folder. About T-minus 1 second left. We realized, oops, I messed up. But thankfully, Bobby does what he does, and he got it all together.
Well, talk about the show you just did, man. It was awesome. You killed it.
It was all right.
It wasn't all right. It was better than all right, bro.
Oh,
you
wait.
had people losing their minds. There we go. There you go with your Prince jacket on. I want to be your lover.
Come on, man. That jacket is pretty cool.
I like that jacket.
This here, it's starting to be one of my favorites and a lot of people's favorites. I make them jump when they do the reveal because that donut just pops out of nowhere. Yeah, and it's always the one they pick.
That's one of my favorites.
It's always the donut they pick. Yeah, this dude lost his mouth on this one. That's another favorite. I was at the magic shop today, and I asked if I could get that card set made jumbo. And this is
you blew her mind too.
This is my buddy's wife. I met them out in East Hampton. I did some magic for him out there, and then he came with his wife. Yeah, I twisted her.
You know what the other got me was
the bottle.
No, when you were pulling the boxes out of that bag, I don't know how. To this day, I still don't know how. There was no way. When you stacked it up next to the thing, it was like higher than the bag, man. It blew my mind.
Speaking of that trick, I just got word today that, well, I knew that the Staten Island comedy show that I did, it's starting to air Wednesday. It's starting to air Wednesday on Staten Island TV. And then it's got a bunch of other dates that I'll post. I just wanted it to get started before I put out a bunch of dates. But it's up on YouTube as well. And I got to watch my first television appearance on YouTube today. It was a little different. Kind of didn't like some of the camera angles. Not that it looked bad, but it could have looked better. But of course, I'm not going to say, oh, it was great.
Well, you weren't in charge of the camera, right? Who was doing it?
But listen, I did that bag trick. Ooh, did I get him?
You got me with that.
Because they zoomed in the camera. The camera zoomed in on the bag. We talked about that prior. So he zoomed in right on the bag. And
it's crazy.
Got him. So that's one of my favorites. So go to YouTube. Check out Staten Island Comedy Show. It's up there. I was up there with Goldberg, and Ziggy was on there. Jody Oliver was also one of the hosts. It was a great time. Go check that out. And I actually put it up on my page, so you can go to The Truth with Andrew Washington and Frank Carrera's group page and check it out there. And that's about it. So tomorrow, I'm off. I don't know.
Minnesota bound, right?
I swear, I was about 95% close to canceling it. And then I checked my email, and the promoter's like, "Oh, I'm excited to have you." And, yeah, man, but should I say pay for my ticket?
Yeah, some texts are like, you're not that excited if you ain't paying my way.
Right, it is a paid event, but I just got to get there, get people in there, and then get paid. So Wednesday night, I'm going to be about in Minnesota doing magic on the streets, trying to get people excited. Going back to the old roots, I used to do things before the internet.
No, I'm sure you'll kill it, man.
I'm going to try. But we have a pretty interesting show today. I couldn't figure out what to call it. It's like movie night. Is it like movie night, actor land? We got some talented actors and actresses. Thomas Robertson's here. He's a director, screenwriter, also a volunteer fireman.
Yeah, I got to do a movie with him a couple of weeks ago.
Which I love.
Lester
that.
Vaughn.
Which one was that?
Lester Vaughn.
Lester Vaughn.
It's
Okay.
about a serial killer. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
We have Jenny Feldy, who's here tonight also, and Lord knows we never know what's coming out of her mouth. We never know, especially with that question today. Can I curse? I was like,
Wrong show.
yeah, but not every other word. But so it's gonna be fun. And then we have Courtney Sinello. She's coming on. So we're gonna take our first commercial break because we got a lot of people. We want to get them in. And when we return, we're going to return with our first guest, and that's going to be Mr. Thomas Robinson. So we'll be back right after this.
Honey, it's such a beautiful night. Let's eat outside.
Okay, hon, sounds great. Ugh. These bugs are out of control.
Oh no, honey, look, Luna has a tick.
We gotta do something about these bugs. It's ridiculous.
Don't let mosquitoes and ticks ruin another summer. Call NoFo Tick and Mosquito Control. 631-888-NOFO. That's 631-888-NOFO. Or visit NoFoTickControl.com. That's NoFoTickControl.com.
And here we're back. You're watching The Truth with Angie Washington and Frank Carrera. We have a guest with us tonight, and it's Thomas Robinson.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So there's things I want to ask you first.
Sure.
The transition from Williamsburg to New York, Williamsburg, New York to Belport, New York.
That was my dad's idea.
A little different though.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. He worked for the New York City Transit Authority, so he wanted to get out of the neighborhood to the country life.
Oh.
And I moved out there when I was 12.
That's a shock to you.
It was culture shock.
Yeah.
You're not on a farm.
Did the people that you left back there in the city life in Williamsburg think that you guys were rich because you moved to Long Island?
I don't know.
Because
That's
my
a good
family
question.
growing up out there in Brooklyn and Jersey City, they used to have the perception that we were rich because we lived and we had land.
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can see
we're-
that.
we're
But
gonna-
the funny thing is, when in Williamsburg as a kid, is predominantly Hasidic Jews.
Yes.
And, it was like, for me, it was like that Twilight Zone thing on a Sunday. There was no one out in the streets but me.
Yeah.
Must have felt like the last man on earth,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And I walk around, everybody was in their sukkahs,
Yeah,
and-
just to mention Williamsburg, yeah. There's one place I used to drive Uber, and I was driving through there, and I like what they've done to the area. So I'm
It's
like,
very hip. I shot a film there a couple
was
of
like,
years ago.
I was, if I was gonna move to anywhere in Brooklyn, it would be Williamsburg.
Yeah, I lived at 184 Lee Avenue. And I'm gonna tell you, it was the worst. It was a great building. Right across the street was a Jewish bakery. And right up where we lived on top of Wonder Bread, where they make the bread. So all day you get that smell right up into the window.
Oh, that's like living in Entertainment. We grew up in Central
Yeah.
Islip, but when you get to Brentwood,
On Fifth Avenue.
You can
yeah.
Start
smell
smelling
that
that crumb
hammer.
cake,
Yeah, you can smell
Yeah,
it.
you just picture old lady in there putting the cherries on the cake, right?
That's it. But it's true because my family was from Brooklyn too. And when I was born out here, the rest of my brothers were from the city, and everybody thought like, oh, we're gonna come out and visit you in the sticks, you know? And we were in
yeah.
Central Islip,
Yeah.
so we weren't really even
like a
that
3-day
far
trip
out
coming
east.
out here.
Yeah,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, but people like, would call my dad and say, hey, listen, we want to come visit you, but like, where do you live? Oh, we live in Bellport now,
Yeah.
Okay, well, can we come out there? This is the 70s now.
Thank God there wasn't internet, or they would have said,
Right?
hell no.
Right. And so we said, well, can we come visit you? Sure. Isn't it racist? Now, I remember sitting at the kitchen table, and my dad's on the phone. He goes, no, it's not racist. Let me give you directions to this place. All right, you get off exit 64, make a right on Cotton Gin. Then you make a left on Eli Whitney Place. You're going to see a club called the Grand Dragon. I didn't think, and I picked up
it's
on
not
it.
racist.
Yeah, I picked up on it years later.
We got it
I
right
live
away.
right off Washington Boulevard. There's my house. He goes, I remember going, yeah, and when you get to the street called Field Hands, make that quick right.
Your father had a hell of a sense of
Oh,
humor.
he did.
That's
He
great.
did. He really did.
Yeah, I mean, you had to back then.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
You either had a sense of humor or you were in jail.
Absolutely.
So you had to.
failed.
You had to.
think
Yeah.
think quick.
You had to learn to laugh things off after a while
Absolutely.
because if you let everything get to you, if I let
Yes.
everything get to me, I was born in '72, and I went to a Catholic school, so there wasn't too many of us well-tanned people there.
Right.
So I dealt with a lot. Then I joined the fire department. Like you were a volunteer fireman
Yes.
for Lakeland, right?
Yes.
I was in Central Islip.
Oh.
And so we have a little something in common
Right,
there.
yeah.
I'm like, I might have seen you at a parade or something.
Probably. I was the tallest one there.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
You were. So we had things to deal with, and some of those people I had to deal with. Of course, we were still in contact, but to see the growth of the whole group from what it was. My grandfather, a lot of people don't know, my grandfather used to not want to take me to the firehouse. It was years and years and years before I knew. He was a New York City fireman.
Oh yeah.
But when he came out here, they wouldn't let him join the fire department.
Why not?
It was in the 50s, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He can't do that. That's craziness.
But
He probably could have kicked
but
ass though at 50 years old, I'm sure.
He was a Navy, a Marine, and he did the Navy first, then he went to the Marines, and then he came out of Marines, then went to New York City Fire Department. He retired in '78. He got hit by a truck in an accident while he was driving a truck, and that put him out on 3/4, which was nothing back then. But so just think about that. That was '78, and we got the fire department had to be in the '50s.
Right.
So he came out to Central Islip, and they wouldn't let him join. He held that. Did not tell me. Did not stop me from joining the fire department. Did not stop my interest because he's the one who gave me the interest.
Right.
Well, you were in the junior fire department
Yeah,
too,
but
just like me. I
but-
mean, we
but-
started out in the juniors.
He didn't mind taking me to juniors, but when there was a call, I didn't have a car and stuff at the time. He was not in a hurry to take me.
Wow.
So Bellport, Central Islip, we all
Yeah.
dealt with it.
Yeah.
coming in here.
I joined the fire department by accident.
Would you go in the wrong building?
No.
You go to the big and tall shop?
Yeah. Yeah. And what happened was a friend of mine, his father passed away. So I got into a bad relationship back then. And so I moved in with him. He lived right next door to the firehouse. And that's what happened. I went
Oh,
there
that's
to go
enough.
visit. Yeah, and boom.
See, mine was the racing.
Yeah,
The motorized
yeah.
drills.
Yeah, I had nothing. I had no background
Yeah.
whatsoever in emergency service whatsoever. And next
See, I
thing
grew
you
up in
know-
it. My father was in it, and then my brother's a commissioner, and then I was in the juniors, and then I went
Oh
all the
yeah,
way
his
up. I mean,
family. I remember when I was younger, his dad was a hell of a cook. He was the grill man. No matter what we did, and at fire department functions, all the meetings, department meetings,
Oh,
company
yeah.
meetings.
A
There's
lot
so
of
many
food.
goddamn meetings in the
Yeah,
fire department.
oh, yeah.
Oh my God! It's like you're volunteer.
Yeah.
You
That
better
was
pay
his
me
thing,
just to
man.
come to the
It gets
meetings.
you ready for Congress.
Holy
All
Christ!
those meetings.
But you eat good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You eat good. So you're also a realtor
Yes.
and a photographer. Man, you must get a bird's eye view from up there.
I sure do.
Yeah, I had
sure
to do
do.
that.
Yeah, yeah. Funny guy.
That's what I'm working on. I'm working on just that. So how is it? Because I see that you gave yourself some accolades there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was? You remember what they were?
Remind me.
No, you go ahead. Tell me. Tell me
We have
what
it
they
written
were.
down.
No,
Tell me what they were.
no, I you know,
Damn good. No, it was not damn
no,
good.
you know what? I'm self-taught.
Right.
You know, and I had when I first started photography, there was no YouTube back then, no instructional magazine, none of that.
Yeah.
You know, those instructional videos. So I had to actually sit and experiment. And back then, there was no digital cameras where, okay, you made a mistake.
35
Chip next-
millimeter.
We're talking film, Fuji,
Yeah.
$8 a roll. You know, and
Remember
then
the Fuji shop in Seatown parking lot?
you got to sit there and trial and error. You had to go to Photomat.
Yeah.
$60 a clip to develop. I'm like, what's this?
Yeah,
You know,
I
it's like,
remember clearly.
Yeah, back
I
and
remember
forth.
clearly.
Little Photomat booth.
I was an athlete, so my grandpa got into taking photography and taking pictures because he was taking all. And of course, he does like me. You got to get the best. So he had the best camera, the best area, all the lenses. The only thing he didn't do was develop his own film, but we had to go and centralize, so
Right.
we had the Photomat
Well,
in the shopping
That's
center.
just it. When that was color. But when you do black and white, I did it myself.
Oh, interesting.
Black and white had the chemicals, the
Right,
stopper.
yeah,
and there
dark
was-
room, yeah.
Yeah, and you had to dispose your chemicals the right way, which I didn't.
Yeah.
But then, thank God, the digital camera came out.
Yeah,
You know,
saves you a lot.
it saved a lot of money. But you know, that the developer, the stench, the enlarger, getting the right focus. You know, because you only get one negative.
You sound very knowledgeable.
Yeah,
about this.
hey, like I said, I'm self-taught, man.
And didn't you write a how-to book on something?
Yeah,
on this?
I'm writing a how-to book now
Okay.
on just
photography.
natural on photography.
From what you learned.
Exactly.
Now, what's your favorite type? Mine, I like nature. I like to take the water pictures. I like to take the birds. Anything in nature.
Yeah, I did that too for a while.
Then,
And
then you
yeah,
went to something fun.
exactly. I photographed women. Yeah, you know, I looked at Playboy magazine.
Oh, I didn't do that.
You know, I got into that. And the funny thing is like, you know, we were kids. It was taboo to have a Playboy magazine around.
Right. That's why I
shoved
didn't
under
do
the
it.
bed.
Yeah.
You know, I was bouncing at a club in my early 20s, and I was there, and the owner says, "You're good with a camera, right? I'm gonna do some advertising with the place." I'm like, "Well, okay. What do you want done? I want a flyer, 4th of July. We'll use our own bartenders." I says, "Okay." So they would come to my house, and the Playboy magazines were out.
That was
You'd
your
be surprised.
inspiration.
You'd be surprised. Like, oh wow, I'm embarrassed. My roommate left it out. These women, I'm gonna do something like that.
Yeah, they wanted
Well,
to
I'm
be
not
in
ready
the
for
magazine.
that. Type. Why not? Why
Well-
not? I'm like, okay, the rest is history. You know,
Yeah.
but I got into product shots. I went for car dealerships. I took shots of cars for car shows. When I got into real estate, it was easy for me to shoot the house
Right.
and list it right away.
Right.
It was just all
What do you
natural.
think about that now? Now you can take shots where you can do a 3D tour.
You know what? It's good. You get a better perception of the house, the basement, everything. But if you're gonna buy, you know,
You
a
wanna-
$450,000 home, you're gonna go see it anyway.
I was just gonna say that. I want to walk around.
You
I
wanna
wanna
walk
kick the
around.
tires,
More,
I wanna see
that's
To
everything.
me-
more just to lure you into the
It
open
is.
house.
To
right, or
me,
something.
to me, it's just a gimmick.
Okay.
The 3D
Eh,
modeling
yeah.
of the house. It's cool. It's great
It's a
technology.
sales pitch.
It is a sales pitch. You get to see your house. You get to email it to your in-laws. You know, this is what I'm buying. They get
Yeah.
a better view of it. Because a lot of these houses that you see online, even on a listing, they're very small rooms. And some lenses make the room look bigger.
Right.
It's poor perception. You really have to go see the house.
All right, Thomas, we're going to take a commercial break. We are going to have you back. We're going to come back after the break with Jenny Feldy, and we're going to hear a little bit about her craziness. Hopefully we keep her tamed down a little bit. We'll see. I can't promise you anything, but we'll be right back after this.
Awesome.
Honey, it's such a beautiful night. Let's eat outside.
Okay, hon, sounds great. Ugh. These bugs are out of control.
Oh no, honey, look, Luna has a tick.
We gotta do something about these bugs. It's ridiculous.
Don't let mosquitoes and ticks ruin another summer. Call NoFo Tick and Mosquito Control. 631-888-NOFO. That's 631-888-NOFO. Or visit NoFoTickControl.com. That's NoFoTickControl.com.
The Suki and Scott Show.
This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling.
It's musical. It's magical.
This is a sexy show. Someone's getting some action.
Now, these larger-than-life personalities are on an exciting new journey. The Suki and Scott Show is your one-stop destination for humor,
You like De Niro and Cape Fear. Counselor.
entertainment,
Jesse's girl.
Wonderful.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
and optimism.
You guys have such amazing energy.
Let's laugh together.
I love him.
The Suki and Scott Show.
Nice.
And we're back with the Truth and Andrew Washington. We have our next guest. She's an actress. She's a comedian. She's wild sometimes, but she's always a lot of fun. Jenny Feldy. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me. Gotta have fun, you know?
So let me go through this. Like, I was going through her stuff. I was like, really?
Are you going to curse tonight?
Well, she doesn't know. We'll see.
Well, the thing is, I host a radio show, and I get very uptight and frazzled if I can't curse or I can't say even shit or fuck or cunt or any of that stuff.
can say that.
So
Get it out of your
knowing that I have the leeway, it would make me more relaxed.
Well, relax.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, and I was like very heated earlier, so I'm like, what do I have to get ready for? I'm trying to prime myself. So knowing that I have a little leeway and there's no $10,000 fine.
Lost it
bam.
already.
Yeah.
So we'll never be on
No,
on
we'll
cable.
never
so.
get to cable. So let me
Cable
get
should
this.
just
You're
regulate.
a holistic health counselor
Hell
and a
yeah.
fitness instructor.
Yeah.
And a Reiki master.
Yeah.
And a cosmetologist.
Yeah.
God damn. How do you have time to do anything else?
Don't have kids and keep your relationships for 10 years to like 2 hours a week. Or like 1 day a week. No, I had a rule for a while. Literally, it's like I'll see you for 2 hours. And then it escalates to like a day. And I had like 10 years of that. And you just focus. And people have children. People have 6 kids. If you can have 6 kids and be a lawyer, you know, we know people like that. Why can't I have free professions? And a tip. Not that I'm any expert. I'm like 37, so I, you know, to give tips, whatever. But I find you spend like 1 to 8 years on something, really focus on it, and then you're like, okay, got it. And then you can add something else. And then you can bring them all together.
So, how does Jason feel about his time being on a timer?
Well, I changed that. But I changed that in 2019. I was like, all right,
the truth, man. I'm getting to the truth.
yeah, I was like, we can do like a relationship again. So I had someone warm me up for like 2 years.
You had a warm up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like married, basically, even like live with me. It was, yeah. But yeah.
And then it was time for the headliner.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still hard to balance, though. It's very hard to balance.
And you're an author too.
Yeah, I have my health guidebook. That's like a mixtape, though. You got to get it through
It's like
me.
a mixtape.
Yeah, like 50 Cent.
Oh,
You gotta
through your
get it through
trunk.
me.
It's only sold like out of the back of your trunk.
Well,
I got it.
You know, I try to keep it a little classier than that, but the back of my trunk's pretty nice, though. Yeah, the health guidebooks. All that's really the top most important. All the other stuff it's fun, and there's a reason, but health is the most important.
When people give bios, they
Yeah.
give a lot of things that they're into, a
Yeah.
lot of things that they've done. You know, we all know Jenny's different. She gives us the things she doesn't like.
Right.
And some of them were pretty interesting. I was like, really? Like, all right, public bathrooms, who does? Right? Who does?
Well, some people have sex in public bathrooms.
No,
so I guess
who
they
would
like
do
that.
that?
A lot of people do.
No, I don't. You had the wrong group of friends.
I didn't say they're my friends. I said people.
Yeah, the wrong group of people.
I said people I respect or love or any of that. You know, I love all people. Maybe I don't know.
So that's one of the things she doesn't like.
If
She
it
doesn't
involves
like-
public bathrooms, I don't want to go.
And sugarcoating. She doesn't like sugarcoating, which that's why we call it the truth. I'm just direct. People don't like it.
Yeah, it'll tense your neck up. I always get like sore
Is that
throat.
why I have no wrinkles and nothing? Because I don't sugarcoat
Yeah, you don't
shit.
have wrinkles. You don't have that turkey neck.
No.
Yeah, sugarcoating, but
You said
sometimes
that
you have
turkey
to.
neck? Hey, she's like, you don't have that turkey
you
neck.
don't.
No, I try not to.
You don't.
No small talk.
It's really hard, you know. But I'll do it. I'll sugarcoat sometimes. You have to, you know.
Yeah, but I like it's
small
like
talk.
Small
Ugh.
talk. Yeah.
Big talk right away.
And no texting.
As little as possible. Because that's not real conversation.
And no phone chat though. See, I was waiting for that.
No,
As
that's
little
right too,
as
because there's a lot of shit that gets
Yeah,
lost
okay,
in translation
all
when
right,
you're
It lost,
texting.
it causes
you know,
problems.
But
I
Frank,
got
look.
cursed out by a member of the Wu-Tang Clan because I tweeted something that was a compliment. It got interpreted as an insult. I broke up with a boyfriend because I offered him something really nice and he thought I was like dissing him. Like, no, we're done. It has ruined my life. Texting has ruined my life multiple times.
All right. But,
Yeah, hell no.
So, all right. So no phone.
That should be
And
on your
chit
bio. You
chat.
got cursed out by the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, chit chat.
No phone chats.
I mean, it happens, but it's like, let's limit this, you know?
So you're like a 5-minute or done.
2 seconds. You don't have to say hi and bye or thank you. I don't care. Just thank you is nice. Thank you is nice.
Oh, okay. Now
Because think about it. You can be more with people in person. The more you put this away, the more you can be present.
But
if
as busy
I'm like
as
this,
you are.
No, it's true though. You go out to dinner, everybody's on their phones. Like,
Oh, the whole
nobody's
table.
walking, the
The whole
whole table.
table.
The kids, the
The whole
parents,
table's
it's
on
like,
their phone
what
half
the
the
hell?
time
if
you
you have
look.
kids though, that's the thing. You have to be. You have to be there. You know, so I mean, it's
So
different.
there's one thing that really, like, I don't understand how you could do this.
Okay.
You do not like to go out to eat.
If someone
That's because you eat rabbit food.
that's not true. I'm sorry. Have you ever seen me eat?
No, but
Well, that's the truth. He doesn't know. Listen, before you have words coming out of your mouth, I hope you know the truth. I hope so. No, listen here. If you could put on a TED Talk, if someone's paying you to speak, then at dinner, when we both have the time and the money, then it can be very nice once in a while. But the cost-benefit ratio is usually just a problematic shit show of going to dinner. Because all the things I get from it, I can get.
Yeah, but you don't always
Yeah.
have the time to cook.
I love cooking though.
I love
and,
cooking
and
too,
my
but I
health
just
goes
don't have
down.
the time to cook.
Yeah, well, that's picking up stuff. I mean, I have ideas for like cooking stuff fast. So sometimes you don't have time. So you know,
Right.
but like the whole like, oh, it's Friday, let's go out to dinner. It's like, let's shoot a movie, and you can eat by yourself. And I don't like people talking to me when I eat. So that's a big part of it.
Wow.
Best way to ruin a meal is like someone be like, so, what are you doing this week? And it's like, can you shut the fuck up so I can eat?
Yeah, I get you on that one.
Right?
It usually waits till you have a mouthful of food, and then they want to have like, or as soon as you cut it. So how's your food?
Can I eat?
I didn't cut
I
it.
usually
yet.
love when the waiter or waitress comes
Oh,
over. You got
they
a lot of
time
food
that
in your
shit.
mouth. Yeah.
They-
How's everything?
they time that
Well, the
shit.
biggest thing is like, you guys have been sexually active before. Yes, you have children.
I have 6 kids. Yes.
Okay.
A couple
So,
of times.
eating is like masturbation or sex. Do you want someone asking, hey, how are you? What are you doing next week? What are your goals and dreams when you're in the middle of such a pleasureful act? Eating for me is so. I haven't shut up schools because I eat. It keeps me sane. So let me have like 10 minutes or an hour last night of enjoyment without interrupting me. And then I'm good and I'm happy. I'm almost smiling. But if you talk to me, do you want someone talking during sex? I mean, sometimes it's nice, but like, you know, like asking you questions. And
No, not really.
Exactly. That's
Because it's usually the
really
same
it.
question, over and over.
At dinner?
No.
Oh,
It's-
during?
Yeah.
What's like? Are you gonna come on board? Is that Are you done yet?
Is it in?
Is it in?
All right. So my next question.
You're like my next guest. Bye.
Yeah, no, that's
on
2
that
more.
note,
That's in,
see ya.
that's in 2 more minutes. I can last a little bit
Oh,
longer.
2 minutes, okay.
No. So you're a comedian, a stand-up comedian.
That's new.
and
I wouldn't call myself that, but people do.
I
It
said
is
the
the
same
word.
thing, but I've seen you do stand-up.
Yeah, I've done it. It's new. I've done it. I'm gonna do a show July 10th.
Okay. So,
you know.
when was the first time you did stand-up?
I mean, like, as a kid, I did a lot of stuff like for fun, but like an actual show.
Yeah, I remember.
I think my first show, I said yes to doing a show with Governors. Really simply, I was on edibles in my basement producing a movie, and I thought I was being asked to do a podcast, which I agreed to do stand-up. So I was like, what? And I was gonna back out, and then I was making coffee, and I heard a Mary Tyler Moore song playing in my head, and I never heard the lyrics. I had to look them up. Replay. I was like, is there a ghost? And it was literally like. The whole song is like, you can do whatever you want, you can have whatever you want. And I was like, this is weird. I was getting like songs in my head, and they all came true that month. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't drop out, just do it. So I did my first show with Governors, and
Do you remember like the feeling?
yeah, I was super scared.
How many minutes? Was it like 5 minutes, 6
I
minutes?
hosted it.
Oh, you did? Holy
I
shit.
hosted, and I did like 8 minutes or so. Yeah.
How'd your first performance go?
You have to be the judge because the truth is in the video, not my opinion.
So the reason why I asked is the other day
I have video.
I did my first stand-up thing. Like I've been funny in my magic and stuff,
Right,
but I actually
right.
stood up there. When I say naked with no magic tricks, just the microphone in my hand, and I did a couple of jokes.
Where?
And I was at the living room.
Oh, okay, okay.
And Beth Page.
Yes, okay.
And I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you were good.
And
You
that's
should
what
mix
people
that
said.
in with,
People said that I was good, and I enjoyed it. I almost wish I bombed a little bit so I
Why?
could have that feeling, because now I think
Do you
I
have
can
the
do that
tape?
shit. No, nobody had.
So you got my tape, and some people would say I bombed, and some people might say you bombed. It's
Yeah.
like it's all subjective, you know?
All right, so you're also an actress.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a commercial break, and we're
See
going to
ya.
come back with Courtney Sinello. And then after Courtney, we're going to bring the whole group back, and then we're going to work on, talk about what you guys got going on.
Sweet. Yeah.
All righty?
And maybe you
All
can
right.
curse a little bit too.
Yeah, you can throw a little F-bomb
I'll
in
ask
there.
Courtney if it's okay.
All right. So we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back after this.
Come get you some.
Yeah!
I love it.
Honey, it's such a beautiful night. Let's eat outside.
Okay, hon, sounds great. Ugh. These bugs are out of control.
Oh no, honey, look, Luna has a tick.
We gotta do something about these bugs. It's ridiculous.
Don't let mosquitoes and ticks ruin another summer. Call NoFo Tick and Mosquito Control. 631-888-NOFO. That's 631-888-NOFO. Or visit NoFoTickControl.com. That's NoFoTickControl.com.
Hey, we're back. Thanks for watching The Truth with Andrew Washington and Frank Carrera. We're here with our next guest. She's an actress, an artist. What else do I got here? A singer, and one of my favorites, a cellist.
I am.
This is Courtney Sinello.
Hello.
Thank you very much. Did I say the last name right?
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't sure. I'm like Sinello.
Yeah, I'm
like
Italian.
Sinello. Whatever.
Seneyo, maybe.
Yeah, I got it though. You wouldn't help me. You didn't even ask if you could see. You never asked me anything.
Stop.
You're kind of quiet today.
What's that?
You're kind of quiet
I'm letting
today.
you take the lead when we get into the movie stuff.
Oh, is that when your big glory comes?
That's when my big glory comes.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, that's great. We get to watch Frank in his glory.
I was talking about
So the one that interests me a lot is the painting, the
Yes.
artist. Another self-taught.
Yes, I'm totally self-taught. As a fine artist, I taught myself how to paint classical style painting. I've been recently banned from Instagram and Facebook for my classical nude art because apparently we're not allowed to sell stuff that we make, which is absolutely crazy. Yeah, they said it was pornographic, but it's artistic nude. Yeah, but anyway, I'm a self-taught artist. The first thing I drew in my life was a horse. Like ever since I can remember, like 3 years old. And recently my art has been part of a permanent collection at the Kapellouozos Greek Art Museum in Athens, Greece.
Oh, wow.
So it's part of a big book called 35 by 35, 35 centimeters by 35 centimeters. So this DHL truck comes to my house. Like I thought it was a total scam because they like reached out to me. I'm like, yeah, sure, send me a canvas and I'll paint whatever. And DHL like comes and my mom's like, why is this yellow truck outside? I get a blank canvas in this 35 by 35 box and they said paint whatever you want. And I said, okay. So I usually paint like really weird people who have like, hands are too big or like weird animals that look kind of freaky.
I do that too, but
Yeah.
mine's on accident.
Yeah, no, sometimes like, how I feel about the person comes out in my painting. So You know, sometimes if I'm asked to draw like, you know, infants and children, like I have to like try really hard to just like make them look better than they actually are. Yeah, because you don't want to get that. You don't want to get it. It's like, no, it's a touchy thing. So I painted a cat and I sent it back to Greece, and now it's part of a book.
That's
so
crazy.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
Do you like painting or drawing more?
Painting.
You do?
Oil painting.
Oil painting.
Yeah.
I accidentally stumbled upon acrylic painting,
Okay.
and I did it once, and I have about 17 paintings now.
That's great.
I do all nature scenes and things like that. I love that. Can't draw for shit out of my head, but if I'm looking at something, I can almost duplicate it.
That's perfect.
But I can't draw out of my. It's like so weird. And hands. That's why you talk about hands.
Yeah.
My guys are thumbless. They hide them behind their back.
Well, hands are like the hardest
Right,
thing to
hide
draw.
them
Like
behind
they're
their
so
back.
hard. Hands or
Because-
feet, forget it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say feet because I
you have
was
ugly
reading.
feet?
No, not you have ugly face, but I was reading something in a book. The guys from South Park. The reasons why they don't draw feet. They don't know how to draw feet on the characters. Is why you just see them kind of.
Yeah, it's hard.
I get-
So they can't do it.
It's hard.
I totally get it. Yeah, no, I get
And
it.
like people like you go to these museums and stuff, and you see an artist that draws every detail of a hand, and like, oh, what's so big about that? That's because you haven't tried. So that's what's so big about it.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do that. So what you do voiceovers too?
I do. So I do commercial voiceovers and I do audiobook narrating. So one's selling a product and the other one's telling a story. So, you know, commercial.
What's your longest audiobook?
402 pages.
Wow.
It was a 13.5-hour read. It was my first book that I ever got. It was
You have to read a book out loud in the same tone.
It depends. You do.
Well, you have to do the inflections based on whatever the
Whatever the
punctuations
character
are.
is.
Of
too,
course. So this was my first book, and I got it from a commercial voiceover, which never happens because those two worlds never collide. I just got lucky, and this guy had 25 different characters, all different voices, which you do, and so you have a guy voice, you have a girl voice. I had to do like Norse mythology people. I had to do a grandma. I had to do a baby. I had to do guys and girls. It was just a guy from California, a military guy. I was like, I kind of forgot like along the way. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not an editor, so I'm like, it was like the animal, skull, mask, killer, lurked there, glistening. I'm like, what? Like, I'm in the dark recording this. I'm like,
See, I get none of this in that bio I got in that email. I'm gonna work with Frank on how to drill this out of you more.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you were one of our guests that was in a feature film.
Yes, I was. I was in a feature film. My dad was Chuck Zito. It was a wonderful. He was so cool. When I first met him on set, he was like, "Hi, I'm Chuck," and then he went to like shake my hand, and then my hand just disappeared into his hand. It was just like a meat mitten, you know, just so nice. And it was we were filmed in the Bronx, and it was like an 80s movie, and it was just an amazing experience. I just, you know, was around people like so more experienced than I was, and you know, what can you ask for? Like,
Well, that's how you kind of want to do that, but you feel weird being in that group, and then you find yourself you're right amongst them, right along with them.
well, create like things that happen on set, right? So like I learned my lines. I'm like, okay, I got it. This is great. I'm gonna really do this. And then all of a sudden, after we break for lunch, I get a paper plate, and it has a bunch of handwriting of the director's handwriting on it. And he's like, okay, I just added this scene. Go read it. I'm like, what? I have to tell somebody that my brother's dead and on the phone to my mom, and so I'm just like. I was like, I was like, okay. And so he's like, and I was so nervous because I'm like, all right, you're like ready, drop into it, like right now. I was like,
Yeah, that's, I mean, I guess you pulled it off.
I was freaking out, man.
I get nervous like that too. Like if I'm studying my lines for something and somebody throws me a curveball like that, it just screws me all up. I mean, I wind up doing it anyway, but it just messes with my head because I'm so like
See, this is
fixated
where-
on what I just did.
This is where this whole acting thing takes a left turn for me.
Well,
because
yeah.
I improv everything I do. It's just off the top of my head. I don't remember shit.
Well, that's amazing.
I smoke
Like
too
you
much.
create like out of nothing. Like that's the goal of like an actor to
I'd
be
love
so
to be.
spontaneous.
Give me a role where I can do that. I'm there.
Well, if you can do that, if you can do improv, like you can apply it to like any role you do, and like a lot of actors can't do that, and like they look forward to like going into like the pit or like all these like stand-up comedian kind of like classes, and the comedians who are like resident comedians, they're like, oh, another actor trying to expand their skill set. Oh, and I'm like, I get it, and
I just quietly do it on my own. No classes for me. We're gonna take a commercial break, and we're coming back with the whole gang.
Yes.
You're gonna stay here,
Okay.
and then we'll be back with Jenny and Mr. Robinson. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back right after this.
Honey, it's such a beautiful night. Let's eat outside.
Okay, hon, sounds great. Ugh. These bugs are out of control.
Oh no, honey, look, Luna has a tick.
We gotta do something about these bugs. It's ridiculous.
Don't let mosquitoes and ticks ruin another summer. Call Nofo Tick and Mosquito Control. 631-888-NOFO. That's 631-888-NOFO. Or visit NofoTickControl.com. That's NOFOTickControl.com.
The Suki and Scott Show.
This is one of the funnest shows I've ever done.
Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling.
It's musical. It's magical.
This is a sexy show. Someone's getting some action.
Now, these larger-than-life personalities are on an exciting new journey. The Suki and Scott Show is your one-stop destination for humor,
You like De Niro and Kate Pierce. Counselor.
entertainment,
Jesse's girl.
Wonderful. Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
and optimism.
You guys have such amazing energy.
Let's laugh together.
I love him.
The Suki and Scott Show.
And we're back with the whole gang. We got Courtney, Jenny, and Mr. Rich. I keep calling you Mr. Richardson.
Mr. Richardson.
I like it. You're too big. I can't call you.
It's 2 pairs of socks, like I said.
That's what he told me. He's like, he's got 2 pairs of socks on. That's why he's taller.
You got to get the thick woolly ones from Walmart.
I don't believe that. But it's Tom Robinson, by the way. I do that. I mess up names sometimes. I try not to. Sorry. So we have you all here because I want to talk about what you're doing now. We talked about you guys individually, but collectively you guys are working together and you're doing some films. We do have some photos. I heard you mention months ago about Lake Ronkonkoma.
You did?
I paid attention.
Wow.
And then is that what you guys are working on?
Yes.
Bobby, we have a couple of photos. I think that one would be Thomas, under Thomas.
There we go.
So yeah, there's Lake Ronkonkoma, the Ouija board. That's the title of this.
That's one of the episodes of Lake Ronkonkoma.
So you want to give us a little, before we roll through other pictures, you want to give us a little synopsis of this?
Sure. With Lake Ronkonkoma, the Ouija board is about a group of kids who are playing with the Ouija board, and they, get into contact with Lady Tescawana, which is the Lady of the Lake, Indian princess. They're talking to her, and then, I don't want to give it away, but throughout, she comes out of the lake.
Okay.
And gets her victims that way.
All right, interesting.
Nice.
Well, what's this? Bobby, hold on one second. I want to go back to that, the Lake Ronkonkoma, because this is when it takes a lot of courage for a man to say that he's afraid. I'm afraid of that goddamn lake.
You should be.
I don't go in.
I'm terrified of the lake. So I'm going to tell you about this because, I grew up in Central Islip, so I know about every year that lake takes a male.
Right.
So we go fishing in inflatables, and it starts to rain. I'm about 18, 19 years old. It starts to rain. I don't know what happens. We flip over. I'm in the water, scared shit. I might have walked on that shit, ran. I don't know how I got out, but I got out because I just had that whole thing in my head. I get out. The dude goes, "What happened to my fishing? Fuck your fishing poles, man! Do you know I'm afraid of that?" I've never been in that lake again. I used to work for the town of Islip, and they have the summer camps there, and you go down by the water. Nah, fuck that.
I don't blame you.
I'm not even put my toe in
Because pretty
there.
much the lake is a character in the film short anyway. No. If you know the history of the lake, it'll grab you.
I might not even watch that shit. I'm scared.
But the fact is, like, the lake itself. The facts are this: you don't need a permit to go put a boat in the lake. If it doesn't have a motor, you can go out there. So what I'm saying is, like, you can go out there at 2 o'clock in the morning and dump anything you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And those are the facts of the lake.
Well, supposedly too, isn't there something where it's like bottomless or something, and it sucks you out into?
Well,
No, not at all. The
Well,
deepest
I don't
part
know.
is 90 feet.
They've never found anybody who's drowned in there.
Right.
Answer that.
Well, they find people days
Oh, you don't
later.
know about this?
No, I know about it. I didn't know that they never found the bodies, though.
No, they don't find them.
Well,
No, they're in the first script. You were talking about
Well, I'm
bottomless.
not talking about
'cause I
the movie,
remember-
though. In real life, they
Right.
don't find the bodies.
No, we remember that because
Rumors are
supposedly you got sucked out and then
people
to
say
the
it's
to
bottomless, but it's
whatever,
not
Long Island
bottomless.
Sound.
It's not
or whatever.
bottomless, but
No.
they still haven't found the bodies. I want to get that clear.
Really? I didn't know that.
Me being in the fire department, bodies have gone missing. They show up days later.
Right, but those are not. I don't think those are the ones that have to do with the myth of
Right.
their lake. The ones that happen with the myth of the lake, they don't find. I'm going to say it again. They don't find the
Yeah, I
bodies.
didn't know that.
Okay, they don't find the bodies.
Nah, thank you. Now we can move on.
Bottomless.
They're bottomless.
Nah, I'm not going that
You
far.
stay out the lake, man.
That's
Stay
all
out
I'm
the
doing.
lake.
I like driving by and seeing
I
that
drive by and
wood,
it's nice
wood
looking.
carving that the guy's doing. Or the
Yeah,
that's
you got some
thing's
amazing work.
Right,
Yeah.
that's crazy. That's been taking them years, but it's coming along.
Absolutely.
That's as close as I get. Oh, maybe parsnips too. Parsnips, yeah.
That's a nice
You
place.
just don't like it because you're afraid it's going to outshine you. Like, that's
No.
a big magic trick, you know? They're
No,
like,
I don't like it because I
they're
like
gonna take
breathing.
it. They're going to take your shine. That's
No,
what
they're
I'm
gonna take
afraid
my life.
of. All right, whatever.
I like breathing.
I think it's an ego thing.
No, it's not an ego thing. I can walk on water. Listen,
Tomato to Damato.
so tell us more about this movie. And the next one, Bobby, we'll get into the next picture. I thought that might have been you, this female cop.
Yeah, I think it was.
Because this is why I say he looks taller in the pictures. I saw them outside, and I'm like, yo, that she looks taller in the picture.
That's great. That's the whole,
See
illusion.
that? You look tall in
Yeah,
there.
she plays
An FBI
Agent Samantha Rollins, who has been talking to the serial killer Lester Vaughn, and he gives her hints how a serial killer operates, and that's how he finally catches him. And that was his plan, to get caught.
Yeah, I like that.
a lot of
because
twists and
that's the
turns.
ultimate climax sometimes is, to try to avoid it.
Right.
But then it's like, my best feat is you got me.
Yeah.
I don't understand that, but that's I watch.
Yeah,
I like.
and there's
some
a
of that.
reason why he
I
wanted to
like
get
some
caught.
of this stuff there, so that's why I'm into it. And Jenny, did you what movie is that? That's you right there.
Yeah, that's me and my first. That's me and my first camera, believe it or not.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was Zesna
1975?
Bronica. Yeah, from like 1990.
You're like a dramatic
There we
singer.
go.
Yes.
It's me and
Hey,
Dino.
dude.
Dino is the man. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what.
I meant
Yeah.
to crop that picture out, so we just caught the orange.
Here we go. See, you see how he is?
Oh, there's my boy Frankie Carrera. Yay! What'd you do in that, Frank?
I was Special Agent Frank Schiavarelli.
Did you guys work together?
We did.
Yes, we did.
Did you outshoot him in training academies?
We were running around Lakeland County Park.
It was,
Yeah,
a,
it
it
was-
was a
it
good
was-
day.
It was a good
Yeah,
day.
it was a good day.
Strange. People, didn't know what to make of it.
No, I
We
guess.
had like 10 FBI agents, a guy in orange watching him around.
Yeah, we
in
got
the
a lot
woods.
of looks from people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
I didn't
pulling their
think about
children.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
it was
understand
crazy.
that because
Whoa.
on bigger and these bigger budget films where you can have people there and you can shut the park down.
Right.
This is an
No, we
independent
didn't shut it
film.
down.
We
just
you
kept-
You
guerrilla
just got
shot.
a permit for
Yeah.
that?
We
No,
guerrilla
man,
shot.
it was a guerrilla shoot.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, Frank was so thirsty. There was this poor guy walking across the path with a fruit punch. He said, "Give me that, man."
No.
No, it was a Slurpee.
That was
It was a
Dino.
Slurpee.
Oh,
A
he-
Slurpee.
Dino
Yes.
was a Slurpee. That was Dino.
Oh,
He said,
you know,
handcuffs.
Wait,
Yeah.
it was a random guy?
Random guy walking.
That's really
He was
good.
like, he said,
See,
He was gonna give it to him.
He was going to give it to
You know what's funny too is we were walking down a trail and there was a couple of gentlemen who might have been smoking some weed. As soon as they saw it, they were like we're shooting a movie. It's okay.
Yeah, they were ready to run.
It's all good. They were
Yo,
ready. Yeah.
You should have let them drop this shit and pick it up and give it to me.
Yeah,
They come to the next shoot.
Yeah, I will.
There was actually one part where I was walking with Dino. He goes, grab me by my arm, make believe. So I got him by the arm, and he's like pulling away from me, and he's like, I'm walking, and there's a guy there with his kids. The guy picks up his dog and his kid, and he's like running into the corner. We get past him, we were laughing. It was so funny.
He just
Really
tortured
funny,
people
yeah.
right
Just messing
there.
with people. It was good. though.
Bobby, we got a couple of pictures of Jenny there. Jenny, what's this here? I see the nuns in the
Oh,
background.
this is, you know, Sal Vernella.
Yeah.
This is Sal
this is
Vernella's
Good Friday?
Friday.
This is Good Friday, okay.
Yeah, he said to dress like a trashy
I
Italian.
wasn't sure
so
if that
there
was
you
like
go.
that bloody nun thing you did.
Yeah,
right? Did you do
Nope.
that movie?
Oh
That's
yeah,
what I
no,
thought it
there are
was
nuns
from.
there, but I'm
Oh,
not
I
the
thought you
bloody
were getting
nun.
kicked out of church.
Kicked out. No, I
like
burn. It's a fake church. I can't go into a church because I'm Jewish. I burn. Oh yeah, that's one of my first comedy shows. A photographer, Edwin, he took that. I
That's
had
a good
him come.
shot.
He got
What's
shots
on,
of
your, what's
everyone.
on your ears there?
Like birds.
Birds.
Yeah, that little bird.
All right, Courtney, we couldn't leave you out.
Oh God. Okay.
So I have a couple of pictures of you. What do you mean, oh God? You sent them to me.
Did it?
No, I sent them to you. I pulled it off the page. I got
Ah,
pictures of
there
everybody.
you go again. Because when I ask people for stuff, if you don't give it to me, you just don't get it. I don't. But he'll go out of his way to find it.
I will.
Well, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, she
Oh, yeah, that's
is.
sweet.
Yeah, it's nice.
So that was by a woman photographer, Sharon Tenati, and we had a that's
That's
my,
like a professional photo shoot.
yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd say so. You don't just take pictures for fun, do you?
Yeah, just hang out. You know, just you know.
There's another one. That's a nice
It's
picture.
like
Hang-
FBI agent gone wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
She just woke up.
Yeah.
Might be a
Right.
movie, FBI Agents Gone Wild.
Again,
There you
it has an appearance that you
Idea.
call it.
Yeah. Listen, I'll take it. It's totally fine. You know.
Wow, that's good. So I got all you guys up here together. I got some mugshots here. Hopefully they never turn into mugshots. What else you guys got working on? Let's start with you, Jenny. What do you got going on?
I'm gonna die tomorrow for the Renters movie. Shout out TJ Kiss, come get you some. So I'm gonna die tomorrow. That's a fun film. Spoiler, I die. Oops. I thought about dropping out of stand-up, but I'm doing a stand-up show July 10th.
Really?
So I need a
Cool.
break. Yeah, I need a
You
break.
do a lot.
Yeah, you do too much. It gets boring. And also, I like this. I need you on stage. Like, I need banter.
Yeah,
I like the banter.
How about this? I'll give you one. How about you and I do a show together where you and I have not the Abbott and Costello, but a back and forth thing. And when I do my magic, you know, you could be like that.
Yeah, that's fun for me. See, I
See?
like that back and forth.
I have that's why me and this clown get along so well. That's why a lot of people like the show. They like the banter that goes on back and forth.
It's always more
But
interesting for
sometimes
me
I
to watch.
just murder him to me, and he starts yelling at me. He's like, "Oh, remember you picked up me in this show."
Really?
So not the case, James. So not the case.
I make shit up.
She does. He hallucinates a lot, John. You know why he
Tom,
does.
what
too.
about you?
Well, I'm going to continue to write like a series of Lake Ronkonkoma. I got different episodes. I think about writing.
Nice.
I mean, I've written a lot.
So let me ask you,
No.
what got you into writing?
To be honest with you, I was in the 6th grade, class clown, and it was a music class. Mrs. Marcus was my music teacher, and she was absent, so we had a sub. And this guy, Mr. Gulls, he came in the classroom. He wasn't a music teacher, but he had to entertain the class.
Yeah.
Okay, this is 6th grade. And he sat there and goes, "I'm gonna read you guys a story." I'm like, oh man, boring. This guy, who was like Cary Grant, I mean, he was tall, he had a suit on, and he opened up his briefcase, and the way he did it, I kid you not, I'm like mesmerized. Like he was a lawyer getting prepared for a case.
That's how you knew he was gay.
Right? and I know what that was. I was in 6th grade,
Where
but
did that come
Pride.
from?
he pulls out.
This came out of
It's the
nowhere.
next train of thought. You know?
Yeah.
He need help. So
Jenny
he
Philly's
pulls
views
out.
are not the views of the truth with Andrew Washington.
He pulls
Thank you
out.
for the disclaimer.
He pulls
Good
out
disclaimer.
The Telltale Heart, Edgar Allan Poe, and he's reading it, and the whole class is like in silence. And the way he delivered it, exactly, and the way he delivered it got me interested into writing, you know. And my experience as a kid, I was talking to Jen about it before. She said that you write a lot about serial killers, and like I said, North Belport, there was a place called Spooky Hills. And if you were a kid on a bike, that was your wormhole to go from Belport to East Patchogue.
Which they call Hagerman now.
Right. And we used to drive there all the time with our bikes, and then one day, it was in the paper, boy found slain, dead. Quite a few people. And my father said, listen, that's why I tell you, stay out of the woods.
Yeah.
And back then, it meant something, stay out of the woods.
Yeah.
And for years, I would go there. When I got my driver's license, I went and I kept walking through.
Oh man.
Just the fact that there was a dead body there at one point.
It intrigued you.
It intrigued me. It's
Right.
like, not just a dead body, but who did it and why.
Why?
Never found out why.
Right.
And then you hear about serial killers in your neighborhood.
Yeah, I grew up. I had a psychiatric center. I had the woods in between my development and the psychiatric center in Central Islip.
Oh, that's good writing material.
So my mother, when she was younger, she found the dead body in one of the paths out there.
Whoa.
And they used to always tell us not to go in the woods, not to go in the woods. So of course we have the best trail down the hill. It was our best sledding trail. But then you go a little bit further, and then we'd find old buildings and stuff.
And then we'd go through the tunnels.
And then we
when
find
we were
out about
kids,
the
we used to go
tunnels.
through the tunnels, so they used to bring the
Because
patients
we
through.
used to take the patients on to give them electric shock therapy. Wow. So that there's like miles of tunnels under Central Islip. Half the people who live there their whole life don't know. But in these things that you could find from the streets around it, some of these manholes that we had weren't manholes. They were into the
We
tunnels.
used to run those things when we were kids.
So, but the mystery and the sounds and the voices, and now that it's empty, I have those wonders like what actually happened here.
It's a mystery, right?
And then
Very intriguing.
you find the cemetery in the back that you can see from the side of the road, but no Potter's Field.
Potter's Field, yeah.
And nobody goes back there.
That was a shame. I worked there, and a lot
You're
of
just
those
a number.
people had no families. Back in the day, like in the 50s, if you committed somebody, they gave you like $35.
Well,
They pay you to put
They
somebody
would pay
in.
you to put somebody
I
away.
didn't know that.
And there was a guy in there that
Reborn?
when I worked on the wards, he got put in there because he climbed through the window and jumped in bed. He thought it was his girlfriend. He jumped in bed with her mother. And they had him committed. And he just, from being there, he
So that
went
was
back
his
crazy
excuse,
just
accident,
being
though.
there. Yeah, he was there for like
That's
50
a
years.
bad Larry David
Yeah.
situation.
Exactly.
I didn't mean to.
Exactly.
I thought
Yeah.
it was.
Exactly, but that was it.
I don't
we
even
grew
like your
up,
mother.
we-
Your mother has bad breath. Like,
We'd have them roaming down Lowell Avenue. I mean, it would look like Walking Dead. There'd be
I think we gotta
30,
bring that
40
back.
of them.
Gotta
there's a
bring them
lot of
back.
people that need to be
Courtney,
institutionalized.
what about
I would
you?
like $35.
$100? Gotta go 100.
Everyone who's voted for Joe Biden, is institutionalized. Not sorry.
I didn't think she was. But what about you, Courtney? See how we diverted that?
This is a good segue, yeah.
Yeah, we don't do politics. I don't give a shit what you feel. I don't care.
That's good. Okay. Well, what I'm doing, so I am starting to do a project. It's called Action Tennis. So it's
Isn't tennis action?
it is, and so it's run by a guy who's a director. He's a former stuntman, and so it's like two guys playing tennis, and then you have these people called disruptors, and they just start throwing shit at the tennis people, and so
While they're playing a tennis match?
Yes.
That sounds like fun.
Yes.
It almost sounds
We
like
should be in
American
that.
Gladiators. Remember the guy?
Oh, when they're shooting
When
the
they
guns
shoot
at
the
him.
tennis
Yeah,
ball
tennis
through
balls
the
at him.
thing?
So
Yeah.
they're setting up like the multi-camera kind of situation. So I'm gonna be a disruptor.
So this is,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I'm gonna be one of the
All right,
disruptors.
so what do you do when you get hit?
I don't get hit. I throw the
Oh,
stuff.
you're throwing
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
at them.
yeah. So it's like
All right,
lot.
So you're
it's
not
like
running in between disrupting them, because that's
No.
also another twist.
yeah, no. It's kind of like real life Donkey Kong, but with tennis. You know.
It's like dodgeball while you're playing tennis.
Yeah. So we're gonna
That's awesome.
piss them off like real bad.
That's like Wipeout meets American Gladiator meets tennis.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
It's like the Muppets, like the tomatoes.
Yes.
I gotta watch it.
So that they're still in the works. They're still kind of like built in the planning stages, and then I'll be working on another project in Connecticut about werewolves. So that'd be cool.
There's a lot going on in Connecticut. Brandon Brass, every time I talk to him, he's shooting in Connecticut. There seems to be a lot of filming going on out there.
I think there's a lot of land, and people just don't care. You know,
Yeah,
like people.
less restricted than like, you need so much to do stuff
Yeah.
here.
Oh, permits, forget it.
Yeah, you need permits to do everything.
Instagram, you're gonna miss it.
All right, we're gonna miss Instagram. We're gonna say goodbye to Instagram. Bye, Instagram. Frank, you got
See you
anything coming
later.
up?
I'm good.
You're good?
Just getting back into the acting thing. Well, if anybody's out there wants me, hit me up.
What will you do on camera?
What's that?
What are your parameters?
Yeah.
I'll do anything.
Yeah, she's asking you. You
I'll
better
do
watch
anything.
out.
I'll do anything.
You're gonna wear. What did Brandon have to do? He had to wear a G-string.
Did he really?
Yeah. He
Wow.
said it. Yeah. Oh, you weren't here. He was
No,
covering
I
for you
wasn't.
that day.
That's right.
You were in the hospital.
Right.
Yeah, he wore a G-string. He didn't know what he was getting into. He said yes, and then ended
pretty
up
sick.
got there. He had the Would you
I like
do anything?
H-string.
Sick. Listen, an actor acts. Whatever. I'll play anything. Play a
Anything,
park
right?
bench. I'll do whatever.
Nice.
Right. Wow. That's crazy. Jason.
Hey,
Run your face in here. Say hi.
What's going on, folks?
Nope, you gotta get in front of
Don't
the
glow.
camera.
Get behind.
There
There you
you
go,
go.
Jay. There he is.
How we doing?
Right, you don't.
You can talk
you don't-
into my mic.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd like to. you don't see Jenny without Jason. You don't see Jason without Jenny. Guys, I want to thank you very much for coming on. It's been a great pleasure to have you all.
Can I give a shout out to
Go
my
ahead, give
dentist?
2 shout outs to your
Shout out
dentist.
to my dentist, Dr. Silva at Meadowbrook Dentistry. You know, if you want the Hollywood smile and get in front of the camera, he's the guy to go to. He's in Plainview.
He's in Plainview?
Yeah.
That's too far for me, man.
Oh man, it's worth the ride. If you
So
got dental
I got
issues,
one more question for
Sure.
you. You took a film class that didn't go too well.
let me tell you, man.
Why?
Listen, I took a film class. Right, it was in Manhattan, off of Broome Street, and this is like 1990. The class was $400. I went there, took this BS class, 6 classes, and then the day of graduation, digital came out. Let me tell you, hey, then I go back to Manhattan, back to that dude. I went back to that dude, and let me tell you, the folding table and tent was gone. Yeah, Malik, I'm gonna whip your ass, man.
That's good.
I'm gonna whip your ass.
That's what's gonna happen. All these people are in Spanish, but China's gonna take over, and Mandarin's gonna be the new language.
So I had to learn.
Oh my God.
Developing tanks, 16 millimeter.
Oh no, it's coming.
Now everything's digital.
Man, I was reading that.
It's terrible.
It's
terrible.
I wanted to know what it was. And for the sake of knowing what it was, we just blew Instagram out. So we're not going to have this show on Instagram. But I don't care. I wanted to know. So that's what the big story was?
Yeah, man.
I thought the teacher sucked or something.
No, it was
you had a bad
upsetting.
assignment.
It was very upsetting.
Digital camera came out.
Yeah, digital camera came out.
Jesus.
And then
That's
so I
I
go
blew
by
Instagram for that.
Right. So then
Tell me more about your movie.
We won't be on cable because Jenny said fuck, so.
Oh well, hey, I
You're
asked.
such a lady.
I asked first.
Nah, we're good.
A real lady should be freely speaking.
No, I mean, after,
Well,
now
that
it's
hour
on
went quick,
digital,
huh? It always does.
Then I went out and bought a digital camera.
It's a whole different thing.
Yeah, but I asked the filmmakers, hey man, what camera did you use? We used the Red, the Epic, the Dragon.
Sure.
Really? Man, we go to B&H, I swipe my credit card. I got this big box. I'm holding it, like no one come near me. I get home, I unbox it, check it out.
Last thing inside.
Yeah, man, no lens, no nothing. I'm short $8,000, I'm turning it on. And then I call the dude, I call the dude, say, hey man, you shot with Epic? No, I'm using the Epic Dragon, but we're using different cameras now that are lighter.
Oh my God.
I'm like, okay. So I catch up with his buddy in the street. He said, man, hey, this dude who did this movie, what did he shoot with? I mean, he shot it on an iPhone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna whip your ass too.
But you know what? You learned a lot. You went through a lot of hardships.
Yes, I
and that's
did.
why Lake Ronkonkoma, when it does come out, it's going to be money, hopefully.
It's gonna be good.
I have the best video on the iPhone. I use this for everything. I learned how to change it to cinematic, and then you get that real clear and it blurs out the background.
Right.
And then when you go to portrait to take a photo,
Exactly.
how you get that clear and it blurs out the background. I can do a lot of things. All my videos, everything that you guys see.
Yeah.
You know what you could do? You go live like Dan Romano.
iPhone has come a long way.
You just had to throw that name
I
in
had
there.
to.
We're going to go now. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching The Truth. By the way, I don't like that fucking guy.
I like the truth, though.
Yeah,
The
well,
truth
that's
is
the truth. Fuck
good.
him.
Truth is good.
Good show. I'll see
Happy
you guys
Father's Day
next
to
week.
everybody.
Oh, man.
Thanks. Take care. Goodbye.